How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about FuelCell. It has been on quite the run, benefiting off of the momentum we have been seeing in infrastructure related plays. If you guys did not know about it already, and I spoke about this in my last video, that we were going to go in with some options and so forth inside of the Discord, and look at where we're at right now. This stock just killing it as of late. You can tell from my expression, we've made some tremendous profits off of it, but I do want to make sure you keep it on your radar due to the fact that Biden is going to be signing off on the plan officially come on Monday, and we don't know which direction it's going to be going in, but I want to make sure you're set up nicely. So I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder, you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. Know those key levels so you have a strategy going into Monday and as well as for the rest of the week. And then we're going to go on FinTel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and as well as the short interest information. It's important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know what was the buying and as well as the selling behavior like on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis for FuelCell. Let's see how it performed on Friday. So it ended up closing at $11.23, being up 0.99%. When we take a look at where it tested on the low, it was at $10.80, and then on the high, it was $11.63. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 34.943 million shares, and for the average volume over 10 trading days, it is at 50.088 million shares. So we did have below average volume on the day, but we still ended up seeing some strength in FuelCell stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is the daily chart, you can see from the RSI down below, it is right around 71.56. So it is in that overbought territory. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here, we have strength above the 100-day, the 50-day, the 21-day EMA, and we're also above the 200-day. So FuelCell has been on a strong uptrend. So on the Friday, we ended up testing around support at $10.80. So what you'd want to look for going into Monday or for the rest of the week, you're going to want to see that move for FuelCell to get to around $12. We have resistance at $11.60, but one thing that is very interesting here, if we can get past this resistance at $11.60 and get to 12, this stock can easily start taking off with a good amount of volume, and I'm talking about going to around a $13 range. If we do decide to pull back, then I'd want to see strength right off of this 200-day here around $10.26. And if it ended up breaking through that, then of course you could see this stock going down to around $9.58. And then we could see if it would rather decide to consolidate from there so it can get ready for the next move up. But for the most part, things are looking good for FuelCell, and this is part of the reasons why I want you to keep it on your radar for this coming week. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for FuelCell. So scrolling down further on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So we're going to be taking a look at the date of November the 12th. So we have Blue Shift Asset Management LLC that purchased 28,156. Scrolling down even more, we also have Kirchville Advisors LLC that purchased 357,400 shares. Going down the page, we have Ito Unibanco Holdings SA that purchased just over 15,000 shares, and we also have DC Investment Management LLC that purchased just under 11,000 shares. And then we could see here CM Bidwell and Associates Ltd that purchased just under 30,000 shares, and we also have Pictet Asset Management SA that purchased just over 21,000 shares, and we also have Dark Forest Capital Management LP that purchased just over 4,500 shares. And that pretty much sums it up as far as for November the 12th. Filings but we do also have some closed positions, as you can see from the red. Now, when we take a look at the short interest, the dark pool short volume ratio is at 36.93%, and then for the dark pool short volume being at 199 shares. I'm pretty sure there's an error there. Now, when we take a look at the short shares availability, we have 10 million updated 6 minutes ago, and then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 0.53%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we can see the close for last week Thursday was at 31.59, and now it's at 36.93 for the Friday close that just passed. So we can see the short interest has gone up, and that's going to contribute to more volatility in FuelCell stock. And this is why there's easily some opportunities here if you decide to play this stock. So now let's jump into the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for FuelCell. So we can see here on the inflow is at 89.85, and on the outflow it was 76.33. So we ended up having an inflow day on the Friday. Taking a look at the breakdown, we have 0.58 on the large, 64.59 on the medium, 24.68 on the small. Taking a look at the outflow side on the large, it was 0. On the medium, it was 55.94. And then on the small, it was 20.39. Taking a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you could see for November the 12th, so the Friday that just passed, it being an inflow of 581.71. Taking a look at the breakdown even further though, as far as for the small scale orders that tend to represent the retail side, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at the medium side, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at the large, which we just looked at, we had more buying and we had 0 outflows. Now, if we take a look at the turnover ratio, it is at 9.53%. So this is up there. So what this tells us, there are many traders who are in and out of this play, and this is why there's a lot of volatility. But it also does show there are also many who are holding on to their FuelCell shares, but it's liquid for the most part. So I just want to make sure you're aware of that. So there's going to be a lot of risk that you're going to be taking on. And if you're cool with that, then continue to enjoy this play. So let's jump into the final thoughts and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for FuelCell, it's definitely going to be an interesting Monday, and as well as for the rest of the week. We have Joe Biden that's going to be signing off on the plan on the Monday. Plus, on top of that, you've seen a lot of momentum and a lot of money coming into infrastructure related plays. FuelCell moves very close to plug. So if you want to keep an eye on both of them, by all means, you can do that. But if we take a look at the technical setup like we did inside of this video, FuelCell looks really strong, just like plug. Fundamentally, yes, the stock is overvalued. I want to make sure I put that out there. So if you are going to be trading this, you want to make sure you have your entries and as well as your exits on point. Anyone going in as far as for the long-term prospects, then definitely you are paying a premium, paying the current prices of where it's at. Another key level to keep an eye on, if FuelCell can actually have some price action above $12.44, it could easily get to the $13 range, and I think the next resistance level after that is around $13.87, and if it passes that, this thing can really start taking off. So that's just something to keep in mind there quickly. Also, when we went on FinTel, taking a look at the short interest information, it has a ton of short squeeze potential, but don't be surprised by that. This stock has been known as a meme stock. Many people have been pushing it up. So again, this is why you want to make sure you keep your eye on it. I just want to make sure you're not missing out on any opportunities. And like I was saying in my previous video, we bought calls, we bought some shares when this stock was struggling to get over $8. So it has definitely been quite the move so far, and I will continue to keep my eyes on it, and I'll keep you guys updated if you guys request it as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.